Hey, yo, this is Delta Tango Mike. You are at Azalea Creative Studios, and it is time for another Thriving Artist Art Life short. Today is January 13th of Start Now 2020, and I want to talk about how to get creative, how to get traction on social media for creatives. Yes, I had to figure out those words, but I got it. So a couple things I want to touch on. Number one is if you're creating content for social media, whether it's video, audio, look like music, or podcasts, or writing, whatever creative endeavor you're working on, and you're sharing it online, then that's good. You're using what social media was meant for. In the beginning, there was a whole different purpose. Nowadays, we use it as a platform to share our content and in very different levels and ways, right? However, what happens when you don't see the engagement that you're looking for? And that's a big question that happens to a lot of us. As soon as you start getting into a groove of creating content, you're checking on the engagement, and sometimes you don't see the engagement you look. So I do have a couple of tips that you should think about before you're making the jump from one platform to another looking for that engagement. Number one is you should ask yourself, what is your goal? Am I here to communicate with fans or to build an audience or to find clients? That's a very hard question to answer, and one that you need a clear distinction so that you understand what is the purpose of you doing this. As an example, when live video became a thing with Facebook, there was already other platforms that were providing short video snippets and allowing you to share it online. But when the Facebook really took off, I jumped on it. It's like, great, I don't have to think about how to produce the content, whether do I need to record an intro, have some title cards, do I need to have some music background, and then which computer am I going to use, what software am I going to use to edit video, etc., etc. Now I just go on like I'm doing right now, turn on the camera, start talking. That was great for producing the content. But the next question to ask that I had to ask myself was, well, what's my purpose? Because I'm a talker, I can jump on camera and say a bunch of things, but it's gonna take my time. It's gonna take some investment into my work schedule, investment into equipment, gear, internet, all those things. What am I here for? What is the purpose? And I had to find my purpose. So you want to have a purpose when it comes to your social engagement. What is it about? So are you looking for new clients? Are you trying to build an audience? Are you there to educate? Are you there to entertain? And that's another question, a series of questions that we would have for our customers when it comes to web design. A lot of customers thinking about their website, oh, it should do this, it should have that. And especially coming from the MySpace days, oh, it should have glitter in the background. And like, wait a minute, are you here to entertain the people who come to your website, or are you here to make sales? So you have to understand your purpose. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing any of it? Let's see. I got my notes, so I have to check my notes. Okay, so the next few questions are going to help you. Once you know who your audience, what your purpose is, then you try to figure out through the rest of the questions, well, how you're going to make this better so that you can connect with that goal. And that is your content's message consistent? Are you consistent with your messaging, with what you're saying in your videos, what you're saying in your writing? What is it that you're saying that that people can follow a train of thought through all the different posts? If it's wild and weird and going for different places, then it's going to be tough to keep a consistent audience that's going to be interested in that thing that you have to share. Are you speaking to a particular audience, and who are they? Who are you talking to? My audience is the emerging artist. It is the artist and creative who is looking to expand on their business so that they can build an audience or a client base to sustain their art career. I'm very particular about that audience, but at the same time, I have another side of that audience who is there to follow my work and see my progress as a creative myself. And so the more I share, the more I connect with one side and uplift that community. And the more I share, the more my client base can see, you know what, Dan's a good guy. He is working with the community. He shares a lot and his talent is good. Let's give him a call. I know who my audience is. Do you know who yours is? How does it benefit your audience to watch, listen, or view your content? I just touched on that. When it comes to my case, you need to understand, how does it benefit for anybody to listen to yours? What are your follow-up steps that you are asking your audience to follow? In my videos, I like to tell people, in my videos, I like to share and say, hey, check me out. I am Delta Tango Mike on Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, etc. Give people a chance to understand, well, what's next? What do I need to do? Why am I here? And what should I do next? Give people something to do afterwards. And then how are you measuring your engagement? Do you have a click-through links in your content, in your description of the video? Is there a website they're going to? Are you checking on your website statistics so you can see how many people coming through and where they're coming from? You need to know, besides the views, besides the likes, you need to know, how is this translating into real life? I'm sorry, I'm getting long. I need to hurry up. So before you start jumping around in social medias, before you start creating all kinds of different content and just changing your mind because you don't see what you think you see, you need to ask a few questions that will help you realize what the issue is. Is it the platform the problem? Is it the content the problem? Is it the content's format the problem? And do you know who your audience is and where they are? You need to know those things before you start making changes and adjustments, so that you can make proper adjustments and intelligent adjustments that are going to give you results. So you need to analyze, research, and then adjust. Make slight adjustments in your themes, formats, and your audience focus, so you can measure your results every step of the way. I'm reading it off because I wrote it really nice. Then you'll recognize the process that works for you, that helps you reach your goals. All right, and your goals have to be either to communicate with fans, build an audience, or find clients. I'm sure there's a bunch of other goals, but these are the immediate ones that come to mind when it comes to a creative career. All right, so your content must be focused and have a purpose. Plus, remember, it takes time. So nothing happens overnight. Sometimes it does. But if it's not working overnight for you, then that means you need to take your time. Do it right. Delta Tango Mike. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Connect with me, Delta Tango Mike. Find Art is King on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You can send me a message anytime, ask me questions, and I will gladly answer them with a video. How about that, huh? Thriving Artist, Art Life Short. This is Delta Tango Mike. Find me on Patreon if you're looking for digital drawing techniques for the emerging artists. I am there to teach. And find me on Behance as The Creative Genius, and on LinkedIn as The Creative Genius. Talk to you tomorrow. Peace.